DE, or rather Digital Extremes, had released a dev workshop for the main quality of life changes that we are getting with the next big update in Warframe, Dante Unbound, which is set to arrive on March 27th. So I thought we would go over some changes, and feel free to leave in the comment section below your favorite changes out of all of them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see, we have Loki ability changes. Decoy now also draws 15% of the health and shield totals of enemies within the base 15 meters, scaling with strength and range respectively. That should make Decoy much more useful in high-level missions, as it can survive a lot more exposure to enemy attacks. Okay, for those of you guys that don't know, Decoy is supposed to like aggro enemies and whatnot. So for it to be able to survive longer, and aggro actually has been buffed in general over the years in Warframe, so now it actually works. Okay, let's move on to the next. Switch teleport will no longer root you in place after the teleport, and will grant you a short burst of movement speed at 50% increased speed for 5 seconds, scaled by strength and duration. That's actually not bad. I mean, I don't use Switch Teleport, but it's not bad because most Loki users do mod for duration due to the fact that it determines how long you can stay invisible for. We have Eclipse. So how it works, tapping Eclipse provides lunar eclipse buff, increased damage reduction. Holding Eclipse provides solar eclipse buff, increased weapon damage. Scaling change. Sensibility no longer determines on level lighting to determine the buff itself, no longer scales. Okay, so Solar Eclipse now has a base 200% increase to weapon damage. Lunar Eclipse has a base 75% damage reduction. Okay. Not really sure. We have lowered the damage reduction cap to 90%, previously 95%, to bring it in line with other damage reduction abilities like Gara's Splinter Storm, Citrine's Shell, etc. Okay, so helmet diminished effect. Okay, so it looks like they made it so helmet will have a diminishing effect with solar eclipse, but apparently it will not have a diminishing damage. Okay, it definitely seems interesting because it said the damage reduction base 75%. Okay, so the damage cap is 75% as well. Okay, so in order to get the full benefit of Mirage New Eclipse, you will have to be Mirage. It looked like the diminishing might be a little too diminishing for, yeah. Prism damage scale. Okay. So remove damage scaling based on environmental lighting. Prism now has synergy with Eclipse. Oh, okay. So they have synergy. That's nice. Gara's passive. Ooh, they're changing it. Okay, it's because Gara's passive also goes based on light. So when casting an ability, there's a base 15% chance to radially blind enemies for 10 seconds. Each cast without a blind increases your chance by 20% until it creates a radial blind. Okay, so her ability had changed. Her passive had the chance to create a radial blind whenever. Okay, that's not too bad. Whenever she casts an ability, that's not too shabby at all. Nourish, helmet change. Okay, they did mention this, that they were going to nerf Nourish. Let's see what they did exactly to poor Nourish. Nourish, when infused via helmet, now had the following alteration. Energy multiplier had been reduced from time 2 to 1.6 times. Viral buff damage. Viral buff damage had been reduced from 75% to 45%. Everything else remains unchanged. That viral damage buff reduction is pretty killer, honestly. Now, this is just to the helmet version of Nourish. They didn't nerf Nourish on Grendor himself, so you don't gotta worry about that. Okay, enemy Bone Widow changes. I'm gonna scroll real slow so you can read through some of these if you want. Disruption, accessibility changes, has better thing to do with audio so you can hear it better, like beeping and whatnot. I think those are all good changes. Arsenal, quality of life, customizations for invisibility, like Loki, Ibarra, Ash, Octavia, Varuna. You will now be able to change how invisible you see them, how they are invisible and whatnot. So, yeah. You know what? With this first image, I can't help but to think about, that movie with Patrick Swayze? I think it's Ghost, maybe? I don't know. Don't ask me why. It just popped in my head. So, yeah. Okay. Moving on. The Netracell drop table adjustment. Netracell drop tables are being adjusted as part of community feedback from Whispers in the Walls that the high value rewards icon charts were too rare and realistically unattainable. They are removing all non-exclusive arcanes from the drop tables, and the remaining will have their drop rates adjusted accordingly. Now that's interesting because that means that in theory, all we will have are the two legendary arcanes and all the Archon charts and Talford version. So it should make it a lot easier for people to get Archon charts in general. So we'll have to see about that. Because if Archon charts become common, or a lot more common, then enemies may need to get buffed or something. I don't know. Definitely let me know your thoughts on that. Omnia Void Fidget. Wait, they decided on Omnia? Okay, see, they were going back and forth between Omni and Omnia. They designed Omnia. I'll be honest, I like Omni relics too better, but okay, whatever. It's not my game, right? I just play it. A new variant of Void Fissure has appeared, found on star chart nodes previously untouched by Void Fissure. New powerful Omnia Fissure will appear, allowing Tenno to crack Lith, Meso, Neo, or Axie relics, whatever they choose. So we don't have to wait for a specific Neo mission or Pacific Lith mission or Axie anymore, so on and so forth. Just like other fissures, there will be one Omni fissure available at all times on both standard and steel path difficulties. Tenno must have access to their respective node on the star chart in order to access the collating Omni fissure, indicating any quests node necessary for the node. The War Within quest for Lua, Angels of the Daimon quest for Zarmon, Whispers in the Wall for Laps. Okay. Omnia fissures can be found on Lua, Zarmon, Laboratories. So Survivor, Alchemy, Void Cascade, Void Flood, Survival. But they do Conjunction Survival, and Conjunction Survival let you use your Necromex. So that's pretty cool. And then finally we have the Steel Path, Zarmon and Laboratory Bounty. The Steel Path arrives to the Zarmon and cool. Accessing the Steel Path variant is possible through the section UI when speaking to the bounty giver. With the Steel Path bounties, you'll earn more standing and more Void Plume quills with the, holdfasts. The list is not, there is much more quality of life planned for Dante Unbound to look forward to, such as new player path improvements, changes to UI selection screens, Orbiter fast travel. Okay, I'd be interested in that. Orbiter fast travel. So, yeah. Corrupted, Jackal changes. So, circuit, Jackal changes. Melee slam changes, and much more. The official patch notes will have more detail when the update comes out. Okay, this not bad at all. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. I know that it was kind of long. We went over all the stuff and whatnot. But yeah, with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.